And we're back. Welcome back inside the Let's Not Do This podcast, doing lines, Saturday morning edition. It is Saturday, November 15th, year of our Lord 2025. You got the big old Leon Oliver sitting alongside two of the unwisest men in America. We got a big Saturday of college football coming up. College game day in the Steel City. The Pittsburgh Panthers, they say it's not a big game. They're hosting Notre Dame. We'll get to that one a little bit later. And another great NFL slate coming up tomorrow as well. But let's dive inside. Chris, your Virginia Cavaliers on the road today at Duke. How are you feeling? And are you lamenting the Virginia field hockey loss yesterday to Miami of Ohio?
Yeah, field hockey.
Field hockey.
What? Our soccer team's in the championship, so that's cool.
ACC
I'm sure the
championship.
four people
Virginia
that
taking on.
I'm sure the four people that attend that will be ecstatic.
Hey, ACC soccer championships always do well there. I believe that's in Cary this year as they take on the SMU. But yes, I did discover, I forget what app it was, you can bet college field hockey. I did not bet on that game yesterday. I wish I should have. I wonder what Miami of Ohio would pay out over the number 4 seed Virginia field hockey team. But Virginia knows postseason heartbreak. See Tony Bennett's and UNBC loss. So more pain for that athletic department. Speaking of pain,
the championship the next year. What are you talking about?
Well, it's COVID. Well, the year before COVID didn't count. That's probably why COVID happened. Hell literally froze over because Virginia won a championship in a sport that matters. Speaking of sports that matters, Tech isn't good in any of the sports that matters or sports that don't matter for that matter. Scotty, how are you, sir?
Pretty good. We're actually going to have a good basketball team this year. So we'll be in the tournament. We got one of the best freshmen in the nation.
Beat Providence the other day.
All right, we'll see. We always beat UVA once a year anyway, so we'll beat them at least once. Probably beat NC State.
Yeah, well, I have not fully locked into college basketball. I've watched bits and pieces of state basketball this year. The Red Reckoning that was running up a lot of points and getting some ejections against UNC Greensboro. But hey, that's a little hardwood talk. We're here to talk football. Let's get into it. We got a big Saturday coming up. Of course, make sure to join us Wednesday here as well, 7:30. Let's Not Do This podcast. We like to break down what's coming up on Thursday night football, and we like to get those late week. Mid-late, is it midweek? Did you call Thursday and Friday midweek college football? Because it's not really the middle of the week.
No.
Yeah,
It kind of is.
But yeah, it's like, I guess those pre-Saturday college football action. How about that? We like to break that down for you, and we try to get into some weird news when we have time and everything as well. Before we get into the picks, didn't have this for Wednesday. I just actually saw this yesterday. Woman in Florida got busted for going 107 miles an hour in a Kia Forte. She was trying to make it to Little Caesars before it closed at midnight. Chris, I didn't know that your wife was in Florida.
I was hungry, man.
Jeez. I'd imagine driving 107 miles an hour after eating the Little Caesars because you're trying to find a toilet. I couldn't imagine driving the 107 miles an hour on the way to the Little Caesars.
Hot and ready, baby. Hot and ready. That's
the thing, too. The fucking pizza's sitting there. It's not like they got to make it. It's not like it's like, I got to get there before my pizza gets cold. It's already cold. They said it closed at midnight. So it was like, I guess, 8 minutes before. I think the cops stopped her at like 11:52 or whatever. Which, by the way, you're an asshole if you're going to a pizza place 8 minutes before it closes. You are an asshole.
That's why she was speeding.
I didn't know Kia Fortes could do 107 miles an hour.
I was not aware.
Yeah, I thought if you got a Kia above 80, it just rattled and fell apart on the highway, or just disintegrated. I just didn't know. But all right, speaking of disintegrated, Louisville's college football playoff hopes officially disintegrated with that loss to Clemson yesterday. Who had that game on the middle of the week?
Chris, obviously me.
And what side were you on, sir?
I was on the Clemson side.
Broken clock is right twice a day. I should have put that on my card. I was right there with you. I felt wrong team was favored. That was just an ugly game, though. Clemson tried to give it away, as you said, Scotty.
Yeah, both teams did not want to win that one. Special teams were awful. Clemson had all kinds of opportunities inside the 5 and couldn't get it. Had 2 missed field goals by Louisville in the fourth quarter. They, I don't know what that punt was for Clemson, but yeah, neither team wanted to win that game. I had the under, so I made some money on that. Lost on my podcast bet, of course, because that's usually how it goes. Had a winning day yesterday, but yeah, two touchdowns for Oregon that I didn't think were touchdowns. If either one of them were called back, I would have cashed. But yeah.
And I took an L as well in the midweek because Troy apparently forgot that their offense was supposed to show up against those mighty Monarchs of ODU there. So what are you going to do? But hey, let's get back on track. Let's get into the games for today. I'll go ahead and start things off here. I believe one of you guys has this on your card too. College game day.
You didn't update the standings?
No, I did not update the standings. Didn't have time, sir.
Well, you're still in last, sir.
Yeah.
And you're in last, and you were in first in NFL. Now you're in last again.
I'm like a stock, baby. It goes up and it goes down. But you know what? It's always a wild ride with the Big O, you know. College game day in the Steel City there, I believe on the banks of the Monongahela and the Allegheny or the Ohio. I forget. Those three rivers meet. Anyway, you got Pittsburgh at home. A sold-out Acrisure Stadium, actually. They actually sold this out, taking on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Pitt 7-2. Notre Dame 7-2. Noon on ABC. Irish laying at 12.5, and the total set at 54.5. Listen, Pat Narduzzi took a lot of flack earlier in the week for his comments about how this isn't a must-win game for Notre Dame. For Pitt. And I get what he's saying. It just came out wrong. Yeah, this doesn't affect them in the ACC race. That's kind of what they're focused on. They could still get to the playoff by winning the ACC, provided they're one of the highest ranked conference champions. I mean, there still is that chaos scenario where a G5 team or two G5 teams get in and there's no ACC team. I get what he's saying. You just can't say it, especially with this week coming up. This is Notre Dame's Super Bowl right here. You look at the rest of their schedule, they don't have another chance to impress the committee. They're going to step on the gas here. And the way CJ Carr has been playing it, he's definitely got to be in that Heisman conversation over the last few weeks. Notre Dame wants to go and twist that knife and submit, hey, we belong in this playoff. We belong in the field. We got to do what we got to do. And on the other side, you got Pitt's coach talking about how it's not a must-win game. Now, maybe he was doing Jim Valvano, circa 1983. I don't know how he can play with these guys. He was playing it down the whole matchup with Houston. Maybe he's trying to do that little reverse psychology. But I think he may know that his goose is cooked. Give me the Irish. The Irish are going to roll. They're going to cover this 12.5 easy. I honestly think it's a blowout. Pitt's freshman quarterback, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, so I'm just going to stay away from it, has played well, but this is the bright lights. It's college game day. It's a sold-out stadium, and you got Notre Dame coming to town. He hasn't faced a defense like this. Pitt hasn't faced a physical, talented team like this. Irish are going to roll. You could probably push this to 17 points. I like Notre Dame to cover this with ease.
You're smoking crack, but okay. Yeah, I'm glad that we're on opposite sides of this. This is also on my card. Pitt at home, 12.5 points is crazy. Notre Dame hasn't impressed me this year. Give me Pitt plus the 12.5, unless you can find me a better number, Scotty.
Yeah, there's a 13 on Fanatics, so
Let's go. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I had this on my card originally, but just the fact that I don't know the comments by Narduzzi, I kind of think they're going to come out and play, so I'll probably end up betting Pitt. But yeah, the fact that I don't know if they're actually going to want to try to win this game or not, I left it off my card. But yeah, I think I would agree with Chris on this one. I don't think Notre Dame is that good every year. Like I said, even last year when they got to the championship, I still thought they were overrated. They had a pretty easy path to get there. You said CJ Carr is a Heisman candidate?
Over the last
few weeks, personal thought?
Over the last few weeks, look at his stats. He is playing at a Heisman level.
What are his odds?
I haven't looked at the odds. I'm just saying over the last few weeks, his stats have been at that level.
Week 9 to 11 Heisman hopeful. Let's go. They did Heisman for 3 weeks.
Coming into form when it matters the most. All right. And look, Notre Dame's
if anybody's winning the Heisman on that team, it's not him. It's gonna be
Jeremiah Love is phenomenal. Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. Pitt, they got 5. Heitzel has 5 interceptions, I think, in his last 5 starts. He's a 18, 19-year-old kid. His only Power 4 offer was Pitt was his first Power 4 offer. He didn't have any until Pitt came into the mix. He's played well. He's got like 12 touchdowns and 5 picks and 5 starts. He hasn't had to set the world on fire. He's done enough to get things done, but they have turned the ball over a little bit. They had 4 turnovers against Stanford when they beat them 35-20. And now you're playing Notre Dame as one of the most underrated defenses in the country. And then you go back and you look at this Notre Dame team. They've held their last 6 opponents all under their team totals. And they're averaging like 6.7 points under their expected output, teams that are playing against them. So they clamp down. They have a great pass rush. I think they're going to get in this kid's face. They're going to confuse him a bit. He just hasn't seen this yet. He doesn't know what he doesn't know yet. He's so young, and I think that's going to be the difference is that quarterback matchup. Then, of course, Notre Dame can run the ball, and I don't think Pitt's ready for that. Also, if it comes down to a special teams situation, Trey Butowski, the kicker for Pitt, he is out due to illness. He's a big part of them. He's 19-21 on the year for field goals and 35-36 on extra points. So you get into a situation where you have a new operation back there, the new kicker. That could be a special teams situation there too. So, yeah, I'm not sure what Sam Carpenter can do in these situations. I just think there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of expectation against Pitt, and they just haven't been in this spot yet. And so I like Notre Dame. Plus, Marcus Freeman's record against the ACC I forgot what it was. It was pretty damn good. So, yeah, give me Notre Dame to roll.
I'm glad we're on the opposite side.
All right.
Your record is awful.
I'm sure we're on the interesting sides on this one too. North Carolina State, the Wolfpack in Miami, taking on the Hurricanes. Canes 7-2, State 5-4. Canes laying the 15.5. Total set at 55.5. 3:30 on ESPN. Listen, I am a North Carolina State fan, but I can't see things objectively. I tried not to bet on State, but I think this is a good spot. CJ Bailey, quarterback for NC State, is coming home. He's a Miami native. He's got like 15 or 20 family members there. He's got a bunch of friends on the Miami sideline as well, guys he used to play with. He committed to State in March of 23. Miami didn't offer him until November of that year. He stuck it out with the Wolfpack. He's staying there. There's lots of rumors that, hey, what's Miami going to do after Carson Beck next year? Maybe they try to throw a bag at CJ Bailey. I know that's a lot of a big fear for Wolfpack fans. Regardless, that's another conversation for another day. This kid's coming home. What do these Miami guys do when they come home? They show out. Look at Lamar whenever he goes to South Florida to play against the Dolphins. Miami's pass defense is terrible. All right. And their 2 losses, they've given up a combined 618 passing yards. CJ Bailey is 4th in the ACC in total passing at over 2,400 yards, and number 3 in passing yards per game, and number 3 in touchdowns in the league. Plus, they have a couple of injuries in that secondary right now. On top of that, OJ Frederick, he's out. So yeah, that's their best cover corner on an already bad defense. And CJ Bailey has been dealing it lately. And as NC State has started to figure things out a little bit offensively, is because of him. Now, I know Justin Jolie, the tight end, is questionable, and Hollywood Smothers, the running back, is questionable. Both of those are game breakers for NC State, but it looks like they're going to play, even though the questionable designation earlier on the injury report. I think Miami wins this game. I don't trust Mario Cristobal in these situations. I think this could be a backdoor cover situation for NC State. Also, that total, 55.5, I think is something you can look at potentially for an over here. But I like this spot for NC State to get a cover. I think they are good enough to make things interesting, especially if Carson Beck turns the ball over. But I think State can cover this 15.5 in South Florida.
Also on my card, Miami, far superior team, coach far superior, and that's not a very good thing. NC State, C-tier athletic department, D-tier school, F-tier fans, the only good one left us, unfortunately. So, yeah, I am picking NC State plus the 15.5. I think they're going to lead the whole game, and Miami is going to lead a last-minute comeback to score to beat them by 3 at the end of the game. Miami wins. but NC State covers. It's a win-win situation for me. Heartbreak for NC State, heartbreak for Leon, and I get another win on the podcast picks.
I hate being on the same side as you for anything. Mario Cristobal better coach. The guy's 12-13 in November and December games as Miami's head coach.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cristobal, maybe a better coach the first half of the season. I kind of agree with both of you, so maybe load up on Miami. I'm not.
That changed my pick to the over.
I'm not betting this, so it's definitely not going on my card. This game is disgusting. But who is Miami right now? The way they've been playing to be 15.5 points favorites against anybody. Carson Beck kind of throwing his team under the bus a couple weeks ago. It's just the regular Cristobal Miami late season meltdown. I think they win. It wouldn't totally surprise me if NC State is right there at the end with a chance to win. Just the way Miami does. But yeah, I agree with both of you. Miami wins, but NC State probably covers that big number.
Big number there in the conference matchup. Next up here should be a really interesting game. I know a lot of folks were surprised College Game Day didn't make its way down between the hedges there in Athens. You got 7:30 on ABC. Number 5, Georgia, Gunnar Stockton's boys, 8-1 on the year, taking on Arch Manning and his Texas Longhorns. Suddenly resurgent Longhorns at 7-2. Dogs laying to 6.5, and the number set at 49.5 in this one. Listen, I've been riding it the last few weeks, and I want to ride it until, ride it until she bucks you. Instead, this time, though, I'm not going Georgia minus a total in the second half. I'm going with Georgia minus a half a point in the third quarter in this game, okay? Georgia minus a half a point in the third quarter. The Bulldogs start slow, but they finish strong, and it starts in the third quarter. The third quarter this season, Georgia has outscored opponents 89-38. That's a point differential of 51 for people like Chris that can't do math. 51-point differential in the third quarter. Whatever it is, whatever Kirby Smart's doing, and I know there's the old adage about halftime adjustments. You really don't have a lot of time at halftime to make a lot of adjustments there. Yeah, whatever he's doing, though, is working. I love this Georgia team in the third quarter. I think Texas, can turn the ball over. They are dead last in the SEC, averaging over like 8 penalties a game. There's a lot of narratives about the revenge factor since Georgia beat them twice. These are two different teams from last year. Nate Frazier is really cooking the ball on the ground for the Dogs. He had 181 on 12 carries last week against Mississippi State. And that's a feisty Mississippi State team that Georgia made look pedestrian last week. They're a lot better than their record indicates there. Now, Texas's run defense is good. They're number 2 nationally against the run. They only gave up over 100 yards rushing twice. That was to Florida and to Kentucky. So that'll be interesting. But can Texas run the ball themselves? I'm intrigued to see how this matchup goes. I think this will be the best game of the day. But I love what Georgia does in the second half, especially the third quarter. Give me the Dogs minus the half a point in the third quarter.
All right. Hopefully Georgia gets the ball first.
I have no read on this game. I'm just here to enjoy.
Real quick before you get into your pick, not breaking news, but College Game Day, the bottom line right now, James Franklin in early stages of talks to become Virginia Tech head coach, being bantered about right now.
I was going to
Game Day.
There's some kid, I say kid, I don't know how old he is. He looks like he's 12. That works for 24/7 that does Virginia Tech stuff. Leon.
What?
You had a little thing.
Yeah, a little. Hey, this banana gingerbread latte is really good.
Gonna leave that alone. But yeah, so the kid that works for 24/7, he does Virginia Tech stuff. He was saying he was hearing that Franklin was looking at some houses and like a bunch of people at Tech, some band members have been told to be ready on the 17th for something. So they must be announcing him. What is the 17th? Is that
the 17th would be Monday.
Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that's the day they announce him. But
Well-
yeah, let's go Hokies.
Today is the 15th. The government is reopened. I'm sure people are getting their checks. So Virginia Tech has money now on their SNAP card, I guess, to make a hire there. They
Whatever.
had to sell some aluminum cans, whatever they had to
We
do.
got our guy.
Yeah.
You said we were going to get nothing. We were going to get a shit coach. I told you we were getting a better coach than you thought. I was right.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we'll see what
I got this game on my card. Yeah, I got this game on my card as well. Yeah, I'm going with Texas, getting the 6.5 points. Arch Manning, we've made fun of him all year, but he's been playing not good, but he's seems to be getting a little better each week. Georgia, they don't have a pass rush. The pass defense altogether is not very good. That's why I think Arch is going to be able to kind of get comfortable a little bit and play a decent game here. Georgia's also next to last in forcing turnovers in the SEC. So you mentioned Texas turns the ball over. They really haven't recently, and Georgia's definitely not been forcing turnovers. I think maybe because Texas has started off so bad, maybe we just assumed that Arch was out there throwing a bunch of interceptions, but no, he was just underthrowing and overthrowing dudes. But yeah, he's getting a little better. Still not great, but I think with that Texas defense, still one of the best defenses in the nation, and I think they're gonna. I like the under as well, so that kind of plays into the plus 6.5 here. I think Texas is going to be there at the end. It'll be a tough physical game. I still think Georgia is overrated. Gunnar Stockton's been good, but I still don't know if he's that guy. But yeah, really good Texas defense against the Georgia team that has a really good offense, but that pass defense I think is going to let Arch Manning look decent. And yeah, Texas does enough to possibly win, if not win, at least cover the 6.5.
Okay, but they're not going to cover the third quarter of a half a point.
They get the ball first. They take
such a stupid fucking bet, man.
Yeah,
Georgia is
they
money
get the ball
in the
first,
third quarter.
And yeah, but what if they get the ball first and they have a 9-minute drive?
That's not,
even if they don't score.
That's not okay. Georgia gets the ball back, comes to the field, kicks a field goal. Boom, we're golden.
No, they get in field goal range and the clock runs out in the third quarter.
Kirby Smart and Jordan, they're building the Death Star in the third quarter, okay? This team, 51-point differential in the third quarter. That's nothing to laugh at there.
This is nothing. This is not going to get you back in contention with these picks.
Yeah, I'm just giving you the knowledge.
Bullshit.
I'm just giving you the knowledge, okay?
What's it going to be next week in this one? First team to score in the second half. Is that a bet? Can you do that?
Listen, I'm in the mines, okay? I'm going down into the mines. I'm digging. I'm getting down to the granite. I'm getting the black coal for you. I'm keeping the lights on here. All right.
Well, you're not getting out.
Oh, yeah. All right. So that is on my card there. Moving on over, Scotty. I'm going to navigate over to you next here. Didn't have time to build your graphics, so you're getting the old school lower third here. Iowa, number 21 team in the land on the road, taking on USC. Trojans laying 6.5, total set at 47.5, 330 on BTN. By the way, rain in the forecast in Los Angeles. Very rare scenario there. They're expecting, I think, to be a little chilly and a little rainy as well. So Iowa could be playing the same game that they essentially played last week at home against Oregon. They could lose the same game 2 weeks in a row. I don't know. What say you here?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the rain. Rain in California and rain in Iowa are two different things. I don't think we overrate the weather sometimes, but yeah, I've bet on Iowa a few times this year on the podcast. I think I've probably won maybe every Iowa game I've put on here, betting on Iowa. But I'm actually going with USC here. Lincoln Riley, we know to fade him on the road, but he's at home here, very good at home. Iowa is 3-0 against the spread on the road this year, but that was against Wisconsin or Rutgers, and then a loss early at Iowa State, who was overrated coming into the year. But yeah, I think Iowa coming off a kind of a tough, maybe emotional loss to Oregon, where they thought they might have had the upset. Now they have to travel across the country to USC. Their offense is still terrible. They don't really run the ball well. They definitely don't throw the ball well. They're next to last in the Big Ten in yards per play, where USC is number one. They average 2.6 more yards per play on offense. That's a huge difference here. I know a lot of people are probably going to pick Iowa just because they are physical. USC doesn't like that sometimes, and it's supposed to be rainy, so that's probably going to get some people on Iowa. But yeah, I just like USC here. They have a lot to play for. They could still win the Big Ten. They have to win this one. I'm not worried about them looking forward to Oregon because I think they realize how big this game is. They need to win this one. I think Iowa traveling and USC, I think their athletes are going to take over here and win by at least 7. Give me USC minus 6.5. Actually, there's some 6s out there. So minus 6.
I hate to agree with you on this one here, but you pretty much summed up all the thoughts I had. I originally had this on my card earlier in the week, but then bounced it off. Yeah, I just think they're going to have a situation where they're going to lose that same game twice. I think USC is better. I think they covered the spread, but I think it will be a close game. But that emotional letdown of having Oregon on the ropes and then losing last week. Now you had to go across country. We know Big Ten teams struggle when they have to make that trip across country, albeit Iowa's in the middle of the country, so not as far as if like Maryland or Rutgers is making that trip, but still. I just don't think. I don't think the Hawkeyes have enough to contend offensively with SC. I think they hang around to keep it close, but I think SC covers.
Yeah, if this was at Iowa, I would be saying Iowa money line, but that's not the case.
I wonder will people actually show up to a rainy LA Coliseum, and also will they be able to make it there? Because a quarter inch of rain in LA is like a nor'easter anywhere else. Like will they be able to drive? Well, what will they do?
I don't know, but I got the over-under at 48.5 on Caesars this morning, and it's still there. So take the under.
There's some 49. Actually, it's pretty much 49.5 almost everywhere now.
Wow. Hammer the under.
Boom. Boom. Is this on your card too, Chris?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Moving on over here, a little Big Four match. North Carolina entering the Big Four portion of their schedule. They're going to Winston-Salem and taking on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Bill Belichick putting out the statement he is not going to be the head coach of the New York Football Giants.
Oh, shit.
I love that's like
me neither.
Hey, you know what? Listen. Livy Dunn, we're not going to get married. Okay? It's not going to happen. All right. Listen, just chill out, Livy. We're not going to get married. So that's ESPN, like the equivalent of me doing that.
Sorry, ESPN. We are not interested in coming on your network.
Yeah.
Speak for your fucking self.
Yeah. But Wake laying the 4.5 total, a very low 38.5, 430 on the illustrious CW network there from Winston-Salem. Yeah,
somebody break up the Tar Heels. They've won 2 in a row. Probably should have won 3 in a row. Should have beat UNC, but we'll leave that alone.
You mean
yes,
UVA?
That's what I meant. Yes, should have beat UVA. You know what I mean. But yeah, they've won 2 in a row. The defense is playing really good. The offense playing a little better. Still not great, but playing better. All of a sudden they have a shot at getting to a bowl game. I don't know if that really matters to them or not, but I'm taking UNC plus the what is the number now? You have that. I think it was 5.5.
When ESPN bet had the 4.5 when I put it in right before the show, but I haven't looked at the updated lines anywhere else yet.
All right. Well, I'll get that in a minute. But whatever the number is, I like North Carolina to cover and possibly win this game. That is such a low total. I think you get those low totals, and a team with more than a field goal kind of tends to go to the underdog. But the defense for UNC is playing well. Gio Lopez, like I said, still not good, but last 2 weeks, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Wake letdown game after upsetting UVA last week. Ugly game. But I think Wake Forest is going to make Robbie Ashford have to throw the ball. I don't think that's a good thing for Wake. Bill Belichick. I think should have made this my underdog pick. I didn't want to double dip. But yeah, I like UNC here, and mostly just to piss you off. But yeah, give me UNC plus the points.
Hey, Wake Forest can go to hell too. NC State's had a house of horrors over the years in different sports in Winston-Salem. You can get a 6.
Oh wow! I was going to say this number is all over the place.
Yeah, you can get a 6 on Bet Rivers and Bet MGM. It's weird. And looking at this on what is it, Kalshi? It's at 3.5 on them, but then you can go all the way up to a 6 on Bet Rivers right now. That's you don't usually see this much variance in a line unless they're just slow to react there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, especially with the low total. Yeah, that's bizarre.
6 points.
Yeah, 6.
6 points with a 38.5 total is, that's
with your team being Wake Forest. Like, I don't care that it's at Wake Forest. Nobody cares about Wake Forest football.
I think it's homecoming in Winston-Salem, so they should have a decent crowd. But also, I mean, look, it's the state of North Carolina. There's going to be a lot of baby blue. People are getting back on that bandwagon a little bit. That defense, I mean, it's a Belichick team. They're playing good defense, and that's kind of what's leading that turnaround for them right now. They're trying to build something to go into next year. It's taken longer than they anticipated. It hasn't been the way everyone thought it was going to be, but you're starting to see Carolina right the ship a little bit from some of the early noise. And as much as I don't want them to get it right, I feel like it's starting to get right there, and they're putting pieces together, provided they have a good portal, season in the off season to maybe be in the conversation, make a little noise in the ACC next year. But you can see the building blocks are getting there.
Yeah. Watch out for next year.
I'm just dying over here choking. All right. Speaking of choking, Chris is fuck you. Is up next here. He's got the Indiana Hoosiers, number 2 team in the land. Hey, I heard Pat McAfee say it once. It's been stuck in my brain. Indiana hosting Wisconsin. Wisconsin going with the youth movement. Lots of kids playing for the Badgers these days. Hoosiers laying 28.5 after surviving by the skin of their teeth or their tippy toes in Happy Valley last week. Total set at 43.5, noon on the Big Ten Network.
Yeah, Wisconsin blows. They're probably one of the 5 worst Big Four programs out there. Indiana had a scare last week, but they are they're good to go. They're back at home. Over under at 43.5 seems low for an Indiana team that can light it up. Give me the over 43.5. They probably blow them out. 29 points is a lot. So give me the over 43.5.
I don't hate that. If I had to place something on this, I would go there. I don't know what Indiana's team total is for this game. That could potentially be something to look at. I know Penn State, played inspired last week, held them to 27 points, but obviously they want to flex their muscle a little bit. They got, the old Oaken Bucket next week on the road at Purdue. They want to get things right. Definitely make a point going into the Big Ten championship game, presumably in the college football playoff. I think they get back on track offensively. They could probably hit that total themselves, I think, by the time this game is just said and done. So, yeah, I like that over there.
Yeah, I'm not touching this game, but if I had to, the over is probably the play. One thing you got to worry about is if they win 38-3 or something like that.
That's the question: is can Wisconsin do enough to get it there if the Hoosiers take their foot off the gas in the second half? But Kirk Cignetti isn't necessarily a guy that takes the foot off the gas. He likes to twist the knife a little bit there. Run it up, Herman, like you remember the Titans. So we'll see there. And Chris, we already had NC State, Miami, and Notre Dame Pitt together, so your college card is done there. Actually, no, that was Scotty. Sorry. And Scotty, you already had Texas, Georgia with me, so that wraps up your college card. Moving on over to the National Football League here. Go over to my place. All right, you know where I'm going. Get some paella, baby. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning in beautiful Madrid, and you got the last international game of the season. Nothing like 3-7 teams going to a country that may not be that familiar with the National Football League. 3-7 Commanders and 3-7 Dolphins. Dolphins, I guess, are technically the home team in this one. Miami laid the 2.5, and the total set at 47.5. Listen, I may be walking into a trap in this one. All the numbers right now are screaming take Miami to cover this. Washington has lost 5 straight games. 4 of those losses were by 20-plus points. Jaden Daniels out with injury, multiple receivers out with injury. You got Miami coming off the dominant 30-13 win over Buffalo. Could this be a letdown spot, especially going to a whole other fucking continent? Maybe. Miami season's long been over, but they're starting to play a little bit of inspired football, and you're starting to see them come around offensively. That's bad news for Washington's defense. Their last 3 games, that defense is 31st in the league in yards given up. Dead last in passing yards allowed, 30th in sack percentage, 29th in third down conversion rate. For the season, they're 29th in the points allowed per game at 28. Over their last 4 games, that defense is allowing 38.5 points per game. They're bad. They're real bad offensively. And you're starting to see Miami figure some things out, especially Jalen Waddle in that passing attack. Over the last 6 games since Tyreek Hill's gruesome injury, he's got 485 yards, which is 4th in the league. During that 6-game stretch, he's averaging about 80.8 yards per game. He's had over 82 yards in 5 of his last 6 games. And Devon Achane, he's got over 1,100 total yards this season, 9 touchdowns, and he scored a touchdown in 7 of 10 games, including all 3 Miami wins. So, and he had 174 on the ground last week against Buffalo, and that's a decent Buffalo defense. So now you tell me you give those guys against this Washington defense that's leaking oil and parts and the house is on fire and no one's home. Yeah, Miami rolls easily. Flipper's going to be jumping all up and down in his pool catching the football. Give me the Dolphins a roll.
All right, Dolphins minus 2.5. You mentioned the Bills' defense. I'll talk about them later. Kind of disagree with you there, but I hope you're right on this one because I'm now in the tank for whoever go get a pass rusher. Our season's done. They're 3-14. Yeah, go get you somebody that can get after the quarterback. It's funny. This game, they probably scheduled this game thinking it was going to be like super exciting, 2 high-flying offenses, and now it's just gross.
I love it. Pain and misery. I want to know how many Washington fans made the trip. I know they always do like a Commanders meetup thing for like road games. You got too much money. I mean, like the federal government, I don't want to get into politics, but there were some Doge cuts. We need to go figure out those people that got the money from the D.C. area to go to Madrid to watch a 3-7 Washington team. You got too much money. Can we take a look at their taxes? Can we audit them? Can we tax them a little bit more if you got money to piss away on watching the 3-7 Commanders in Madrid, Spain? I don't think there's going to be any Dolphins fans there.
I'm not getting into
I don't think there's any Dolphins fans in Miami. There damn sure ain't going to be any Dolphins fans in Madrid. It's just going to be a really stadium, maybe halfway full of confused Spanish people.
Probably some Miami.
Yeah, isn't this like their home market? I guess in Europe.
I guess I don't know. Miami Vice and Dan Marino back in the day. They'll have some fans there.
This is going to be what was it? Euro trip. When they were in Eastern Europe, and the guy was like, Miami Vice's new #1 hit show. Spain's a first world country, Scott. They have current shows.
I didn't say that they just got it. I said there's probably some Miami Vice fans out there. They're in Bratislava.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah. Let's just move on.
This game is so gross.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Miami Vice, a Miami Vice rerun might do actually better numbers to this game tomorrow.
I'm not going to watch it tomorrow.
All right. Also Sunday, the New York Football Giants at home wearing their, I think they're calling them victory white, but the old school classic Giant throwbacks 2 weeks in a row as they're at home. No Jackson Dart. Jameis Winston getting the start.
Let's
for the New York
go.
Football Giants there. Green Bay coming
Should have been
in
the starter all along.
5-3-1. Giants 2-8. Green Bay laying the 6.5. The total set at 42.5. 1:00 on Fox. So I was watching Barstool Sports Advisors yesterday, and Big Cat took the over on this game, and he actually had an interesting thought process. Giants defense isn't great. We know Jameis is exciting, and Jameis is going to score points. It's just a question of for which team. Jameis can go out and throw 5 touchdowns. Jameis can go out and throw 5 pick sixes. So I kind of want to join him on that total, but I'm going to go the other way. Green Bay looked like the best team in the NFC early on, and then the wheels have just come off the wagon in the last couple of weeks, especially just ugly loss, 10-7 against Philadelphia on Monday Night Football. Just couldn't get things together there. I think this is a get-right spot for Green Bay. I mean, the Giants can't lose much more pieces, especially offensively. You got Jameis coming in. Just are we going to see good Jameis? Are we going to see bad Jameis? I don't know, but I know he's going to turn the ball over and put Green Bay in a situation where they're going to have a short field and be able to score. Maybe look at a couple of props for Josh Jacobs, maybe 2 touchdowns or more, something like that in this game. But give me Green Bay to cover the 6.5. I think they do this with relative ease. I know I'm walking into a trap because Jameis is a wild card. You never know. But give me Green Bay to cover that 6.5.
So there's no more 6.5s out there.
There's no more. Where are we at now?
It's a bunch of 7s and 7.5s. So give me the 7.
Give me the 7. Give me the 7.
All right.
That's what
I thought about. You don't have this game, do you, Chris?
No.
All right. I thought about putting this on my card, but the Packers cost me some money and my fantasy matchup last week. I would have won my pick'em pool if the Packers would have won. And I was up by 1 point on that last possession in fantasy. Had Josh Jacobs. He fumbled at the end, went from a win to a loss. That's just my life in fantasy these days. But
it's been every year for the last 6 years now since I've been.
It's always fun. Yeah, it's always fun to see new ways to lose games at the end in fantasy. But Jordan Love was god awful. Arch Manning would have won that game for the Packers last week. The Eagles had no business winning that game. Jordan Love is afraid to throw the football when he plays good defenses. He's back there pump faking, fumbling. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He just would not throw the ball until it was too late. Part of me thinks that because this is a bounce back Giants, terrible defense, Jameis will probably give them some extra possessions. I feel like Green Bay is the play. But I don't know. I can't trust Jordan Love at all right now. I do kind of like that over. I don't know. I'll have to look at this and see. Packers should win, but I just don't know what Packers team, what Jordan Love is going to show up. So I'm not betting on them. I'm going to let them break my heart 2 weeks in a row. But yeah, maybe the over is a play. But fuck Jordan Love.
Jameis Winston's the best quarterback in this game.
You are you on PCP?
He's the best quarterback on either team.
He could be.
Period.
He was behind Russell fucking Wilson on the depth chart.
That's politics.
Well, and look where that coach is that made that decision.
Hey, Mike Kafka is still there in the offensive coordinator
real quick.
Interim. Yeah.
The betting favorite as of when I was listening to VSiN this morning to be the next Giants coach is Mike McCarthy.
Oh,
what a coward hire for was it Joe Shane, the GM?
He needs to go.
That is the hire. That's the hire that you're just like, I want to be. I know that I might not be great, but I'm not going to be terrible. That's the hire where you're like, all right, this will be just good enough to save my job maybe for a few more years.
Oh, what a
dumb hire that would be.
That would just scream 7-9, 9-7.
Yeah,
that's a better Jeff Fisher. Is what that is. It's Jeff Fisher with a Super Bowl ring. Oh God,
that's the same kind of move where you keep Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley.
That is gross. Giants, for your sake, for our good old buddy Mike's sake, on the bad.
Probably should have kept Daniel Jones. Period.
Yeah, well, he
had more than 2 wins.
They should have kept Saquon.
Situation. Yeah,
they should have kept them both.
What are you gonna do? Bring back Parcells. All right, let's move on here.
Never mind. I was going to play our favorite game, but I think I know the answer.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Parcells, one of his former teams, the Dallas Cowboys in Vegas, taking on the Raiders. Is this the worst Monday Night Football matchup you all could think of in some time? I'm
Pretty
like,
bad.
just off the top of my head, this might be one of the most gross Monday Night Football matchups in recent memory. I don't have a lot.
I mean, last week's wasn't great.
Yeah, but still, from like, I don't know, just record wise and how these two seasons have gone. I mean, this Dallas team has got to be one of the most just frustratingly bad teams. The Raiders are just an absolute train wreck. We know Geno isn't going to be back next year at quarterback. Who knows what happens there? Listen, I don't have a ton on this game. This is going to be a Dallas home game. That much I do know, though. All of their bandwagon Walmart fans are going to make the trip to the Death Star there in Las Vegas. They're going to fill that place up. That building's going to get taken over by Cowboy fans that have never been to the state of Texas. Give me Dallas to cover the 3.5. It's just an absolutely gross, ugly, just terrible game on Monday Night Football.
Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like the Raiders to cover. We knew the Cowboys as a favorite every time you think they might be decent, which that's really not right now. But yeah, they play down to their competition. They every time you think they have an easy game, they find a way to blow it. Yeah, I can see the Cowboys winning by a late field goal or something. Yeah, and not covering this number, but I don't know. Maybe the under also. That's a lot of points. Even though both of these defenses are terrible, but I could see Dak coming out and just not having a good game on Monday night for whatever reason. But yeah, give me the Raiders. Not on my card, but give me the Raiders plus 3.5.
Jersey Jerry, I know, hit on Monday Night Football with he bet those two teams were going to be tied at the half, and of course they were tied at 0-0 last week. Maybe betting a prop on these two teams will be tied at the half because I just think it's going to be so gross. I can see this being like a 6-6 game at the half or something with like 4 combined turnovers in the first half. It's going to be terrible.
Hammer the
You're
under.
probably right. It will probably be like that, and then if you bet the under, you're like, all right, I'm good. Just like the what was the game I had a few weeks ago?
I forget, but it exploded.
The Jaguars
in the
and somewhere. Yeah, I can see it kind of being like that, and all of a sudden the under's not safe in the fourth quarter. But yeah, another ugly game. What are we doing?
But hey, you got YouTube. You got YouTube TV back.
Carroll, Gino. Yeah, finally, I don't have to be on 3 different apps to watch football and basketball at the same time.
So congratulations, YouTube TV customers. You get Monday Night Football back for this scintillating matchup. By the way, how does Dallas get 2 Monday night games in 3 weeks? I know they're the Dallas Cowboys, but my God.
Jerry pulling a Donald.
You know how that goes.
Yeah. It's gross. Any thoughts on this, Chris?
Everybody's like picking the Cowboys every year.
You got any thoughts on this one?
It's gross. Give me the under.
All right, that completes my NFL card here. And then moving on over, Chris, I'll let you go next here since I already have your thing up. Well, NFC South showdown. Carolina on the road at Atlanta taking on the Falcons. Dirty Birds laying the 3.5, total at 41.5, 1 o'clock on Fox.
Yeah, Atlanta lost a heartbreaker last week. So they're due for a bounce back. And for that reason, I'm going Carolina plus the 3.5. No faith in this Atlanta team. Time to fire the coach. Time to start looking for a new quarterback. They suck. They have some of the most talented offensive pieces in the league in Bijan Robinson and Drake London. And what the fuck are we doing? So give me Carolina.
What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck am I doing? I just spilled my beer into my coffee and
Dumbass.
all over my lap here. So
you're a moron.
Good job. Yeah, I guess I agree with you on this one. I might look at a player prop here. I still don't know if Penix is a good quarterback, an average quarterback, or a terrible quarterback.
Seems like his backup, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. This feels like a field goal. Neither team should be getting more than 3. Yeah, I guess I would take the points.
Carolina, and I forget the stat. I was listening to Ovius and Giglio podcast earlier in the week, and they were talking about some of the offensive woes, mainly in the passing game for the Panthers. They just can't throw the ball downfield. And I don't know if it's a matter of the receivers can't get open or they don't trust Bryce Young right now to get that ball downfield. When he's like made mistakes and necessarily hasn't been on trying to go deep down the field. He's just kind of been overthinking things a bit. I just don't know if they have complete trust in him yet. I would like the under in this game. I mean, you got Bijan. You're going to see a healthy dose of him, getting the ball out of the backfield
Are
and
you?
running the ball. You don't think so?
They keep using Tyler Algier.
Tyler, yeah. Well, I mean, I was about to get to that. They got the guys that they can platoon. You got Carolina; they can platoon their backs as well. Obviously, Rico Dowdle though is the lead guy there now. I think there's going to be a lot of runs in this game, and I like the under in this game. I almost put this on my card, but I think both teams just don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to beat themselves. They don't want to turn the ball over. I think they're going to run this ball a lot. I like the under on this. I can see this being like a 30-point game or something. I think it's going to be gross.
Yeah, I need the Falcons to win this. I talked about it I guess the preseason show, if you want to call it that, when I talked about the exact order in the division. I actually played that at plus 550. Was looking really good a few weeks ago. Now Carolina's, I think, up 2 games on Atlanta. I need Atlanta to finish ahead of them. Tampa's going to win the division. The Saints are going to be in last. I just need Atlanta to finish in second. But yeah, so need Atlanta to win this one. Need the Panthers to be the Panthers the rest of the way. But yeah, not a game I'm really interested in.
Speaking of not a game interested in, is anyone interested in the Saints? You mentioned they're going to finish last in the division. Can we contract them to the CFL? Can we do promotion and relegation? The Grey Cup is this weekend. Whoever wins the Grey Cup, can they join the NFC South? And can we send the Saints down? That'd be great. Let's get on.
Yeah, that'll make sense geographically.
Yeah. Hey, Dallas is in the NFC East. I don't want to hear shit.
You would have to do that with the USFL or whatever it's called now.
Oh, the UFL or whatever, yeah.
Too many rule changes in the CFL.
Hey, CFL is changing to more American style rules, not next season, but I think in like 27 or whatever. So
maybe that's
but
it's foreshadowing.
All right, San Francisco out west taking on Arizona at State Farm Stadium. There, Niners laying 3.5. Brock Purdy making the triumphant return under center for the 49ers. Total set at 48.5. 4:05 p.m. on Fox.
Yeah, San Francisco gets Brock Purdy back. Allegedly, Ricky Pearsall is going to play as well. Marvin Harrison Jr. is out. Got that notification yesterday for my fantasy team, so I had to plug Pearsall in. So fingers crossed he actually plays this week. San Francisco should roll. Arizona's coming back to where they should have been all along. Brissett sucks, and it's showing. San Francisco should roll.
By the way, you talk about Brissett, not that great. Kyler Murray obviously is out, but not that great either. He's got to be coming up on the end of his time in Arizona. You got to figure.
Oh yeah, he's gone next year.
Yeah,
He's
you got to
playing
figure
Call of Duty right now.
You got to figure that team's going to be the market for a quarterback here coming up in the next draft. Just ugh.
Yeah, NC State legend Jacoby Brissett, terrible at football. Who would have guessed?
He's playing like the Florida Gator that he was before he went to the Pack. All right.
Yeah, this is at 3.
Him and Russell Wilson doing great things here.
Where's your Virginia quarterbacks? Oh yeah, they're like
QBU.
Mark Verica was like in
QBU.
Mark Verica was in the goddamn like French football league a few years ago. Mark Verica, I can't believe I said that name. I think Mark Verica's mom forgot that he existed.
Damn.
Sorry, Mark Verica.
All right, giving you -3. That's where it's at in most places.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't really think Brock Purdy's that good either. I guess I would take 49ers -3 if I had to. I'll probably look at a player prop on that.
All right, and then closing out Chris's NFL slate, Kansas City heading to the Mile High City, taking on the Broncos. A lot of injuries for the Broncos, including Pat Surtain, I know, is out as well. Kansas City laying the 3.5. Total set at 44.5. 425 on CBS, America's most watched network, the network of stars. There's going to be a lot of red in those stands. Broncos Nation always packs that place, but there is a lot of Chiefs Kingdom in the Mile High City. I've seen it on the Chiefs game day there before. They come out. What say you?
Kansas City needs this game. Denver, not that good. Bo Nix showing his true colors. Can't score. Kansas City should roll. Give me Kansas City minus all the points.
I hate that I agree with you on Kansas City covering this one here. I almost had this on my card. You got the Chiefs and Andy Reid coming off of a bye week. You got Denver with their injuries, especially with Surtain out. I think that's going to hurt them. You give Andy Reid and that offense time to prepare for someone, and they're starting to round in the form. They're doing what they do. The Chiefs are starting to turn things on as we get ready to make that push toward the postseason. They still want to win the division. They still have hopes that they can do it. It starts here. I hate to say it, but I think they cover that 3.5 too.
Is that on your card?
No, it's not on my card.
Yeah.
But
I have this one,
Chris.
Yeah, I have this one, and I guess everybody go jump on Denver because I'm on the Chiefs minus the 3.5. Also, Broncos maybe the worst 8-2 team of all time. They're just not that good. They keep getting lucky. They can't keep getting away with this. I think that ends this week. Like you said, Chiefs coming off a bye. Andy Reid, historically really good coming off the bye, and they went into the bye on a loss. So they probably went into that bye week pissed off. So yeah, I think they're going to come out ready to roll. Broncos should have lost last week to the Raiders. Somehow pulled off a 10-7 win. Should have lost the week before that if C.K. Stroud didn't get hurt. And then they beat both New York teams by a combined 3 points. So a lot of terrible wins by a couple points here and there. So yeah, I'm not impressed. Bo Nix has not been playing very well. Patrick Surtain is out. Mahomes finally has all of his weapons healthy and ready to go. Yeah, I could see, and like Chris said, Kansas City needs this one. They definitely need it more than the Broncos do. They're going to come out ready to go. I think they're going to put it on Denver and cover that 3.5.
All right, so we are in agreement here. So yeah, you probably want to go and open up your sports books there, ladies and gentlemen, and go ahead and put that money on Denver. Probably money line now, since we're all in agreement on this one. I can agree that this game is a game that I can't figure out. That's why I stayed far, far away from it. Scotty, you got on your card Chicago in Minneapolis. They're taking on the Vikings. The Vikings laying the 2.5. Total set at 48.5. 1 p.m. on Fox.
Yeah, I know one of y'all is going to disagree with this, but I'm taking the Vikings minus the 2.5. Vikings at home. The Bears. I said the Broncos were the worst 8-2 team of all time. The Bears are right up there as being one of the worst 6-3 teams of all time. They're just not good, especially when Caleb Williams has to go against a good defense. The Bears lose to the Giants if Russell Wilson doesn't have to come in and blow it immediately. Like I said, Caleb Williams against good defenses, not very good. The Vikings have a good defense. Vikings have had a pretty tough schedule the last 4 weeks. Now they're at home against not a great defense, not a great team overall, in my opinion. I think they are also going to put it on the Bears. Justin Jefferson going to have a bounce back week. They're at home. I think McCarthy will play good enough. Caleb Williams maybe a couple interceptions, and the Vikings really need this game. So I think they get it done at home in the Dome against the Bears. Minnesota minus 2.5.
Chris?
I will hold my thoughts until just a little bit
on this one. I can't make up my mind on this game whatsoever. I think I'm walking into a trap on this. If I had to bet this, I would take Chicago plus a 2.5. Just are we going to get good Caleb or bad Caleb? I do like the way that Ben Johnson is starting to use those backs a little bit. Obviously in Detroit, he had Gibbs and he had Montgomery. We're starting to see Monungai get some carries and Swift as well. If he can get that ground game going, we saw the tight end Loveland last week. Really show out for Chicago there. So you're starting to see some phases of what he wants to do there. Can they come around there defensively? They have not played one game all year with their starting secondary because of injuries. But I think they're supposed to be getting a couple of those guys back here in a little bit. So I think the Chicago team's going to get better as the season goes on. But I don't necessarily like the spot here, but I think they could cover that 2.5. I don't know. I go back and forth. That's why I kept it off my card.
It does feel a little trappy, but look at these defenses in games that the Bears have won. The Bengals, one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
The Giants, where they should have lost. Terrible defense. The Commanders, one of the worst defenses in the league. The Saints, awful. Let's see. They already lost to the Vikings. The Cowboys, one of the worst defenses in the league. The Raiders won by 1 point. And let's see. They tied against the Dolphins. Their one good win was against the Bills. I don't know what the hell was going on there. Actually, no, these are preseason games.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, are you on the heroin?
Preseason games popping up. Come on, Action Network. What are you doing? They didn't separate it. They just jumbled them all together. What are we doing?
Like, you're on heroin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember them beating the Bills 38-0.
So she said tied Dolphins. I was like, that just came out of your mouth. And I was like, he's going to realize it. He's going to realize it. Nope, he didn't.
Yeah. What tie did we have? It was the Cowboys and the who did the Cowboys tie? The Packers.
Yeah, Monday night. Or what was that, Sunday night? It was one of those primetime games when that happened. They all blend in. But, yeah, I don't know. It feels a little trappy here. That's why I stayed away from this one. Last game on your card, we got Tampa Bay on the road taking on Buffalo. Tampa getting 5.5 on the road there. Total at 46.5, 1 o'clock on CBS. No Chris Godwin, I believe, and no Bucky Irving, I believe, for Tampa Bay, right?
Oh, yeah, they're both out. But I'm not worried about that. I'm actually taking the Bucks plus the 5.5 here. Baker Mayfield as a road dog, I think the number I heard was he's 19-10 against the spread. Might be wrong about that, but regardless, he's really good as a road dog. And the Bucks this year on the road are 4-1 against the spread this year. And the Bills are 2-5 against the spread as favorites. And Buffalo, they haven't really been that good. Take away the Kansas City game, which they always get up for in the regular season at least. They really haven't been that good. They got blown out by Miami last week. And other than that Chiefs win, their wins are against the Panthers, the Saints, the Dolphins, the Jets, and then that Ravens game in week 1, which they won by 1 point at the end. You mentioned the Bills defense earlier. Their pass defense is decent, but their run defense, they give up the most yards per carry in the league. So I'm probably going to end up playing. I picked up Sean Tucker for the Bucks. Probably going to play him this week because I think he's going to have some success running. I think that's going to open things up for Baker. They still got Ibuka. Tez Johnson's been playing well. I think they're going to do enough to cover this number and possibly win because the only way Buffalo covers this number is James Cook's going to have to go crazy and Josh Allen's going to have to be Superman because he doesn't really have anybody to throw the ball to. I think Kincaid is going to be out. So maybe Shakir has a decent game. Maybe he throws some jump balls to Keon Coleman, but I just feel, I think it's going to be a close game. Give me Tampa. That just seems like too many points against the Buffalo team that's really not playing that well. We all just assumed Buffalo was going to roll in this division, and it looks like the Patriots are the team to beat right now in the AFC East. Yeah, Buffalo just not that good. Give me Tampa plus 5.5.
Do we know what the weather conditions are in the Orchard Park?
Let's see if
it's supposed to be gross. I think Baker was saying that Josh has small hands and needs to wear gloves.
19.3 mile an hour winds. So yeah, gonna be some wind.
I'm going to assume it's below 40 degrees, so I'm going to go to that. There's a couple things in sports you always look at: the under in a Service Academy game, and Tampa to lose when it's under 40 degrees. Yeah, I would probably bet Buffalo just on those two things. I have not studied this game at all, kept it away, couldn't make my mind up on it, stayed away from it. But I'm going to toss a bet on Buffalo just because of those two things. That's my uneducated pick there.
There's gonna be more. There's gonna be more running, and the Buffalo run defense not good.
All right, moving on here, we got our underdog parlay of the week coming up. But before we get to that, I have one special pick that I have to put out there. Oop, Chris,
Where did I go?
Well, people got tired of seeing you, so. But I have one special pick here that I wanted to put out before our underdog parlay. The 112th Grey Cup is Sunday, tomorrow in Winnipeg at the Princess Anne Stadium there. Saskatchewan, the Rough Riders, 12-6, taking on the Montreal Alouettes, 10-8. Rough Riders laying 3.5. Over-under is set at 48.5. 6 o'clock tomorrow on the CBS Sports Network. Listen, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. The Riders picked up both wins over the Alouettes this year. Davis, the quarterback there for Montreal, David Hamilton, he is dealing with a hamstring issue right now. I know they talked about he was a full go in practice, but he didn't run. He was doing light sprints and stuff. I'm concerned about how that hamstring is. Was it McLeod Bethel Thompson is the backup ready to go for Montreal if he's called into service? I think this Argos team is a wagon. Plus, they're in Winnipeg. This art stadium of one of their arch rivals, the Blue Bombers. A lot of their friends, a lot of their people are going to be making the trip across the prairie there. They go and pack that. They want to come out with a win, and especially to do it in one of their arch rival stadiums. Give me Saskatchewan to cover that 3.5 and lift the Grey Cup Sunday, 6 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. I will definitely have a screen on this one as we get some quality football north of the border there.
I'll agree with you just because they're the Rough Riders. I haven't watched CFL in a couple of years. Why is a 10-8 team in their championship?
Hey, because they made the playoffs and made the run through, baby. That's all you got to do. You just got to get in. Yeah.
Not real football. Who cares?
Real quick. I said Bucks plus 5.5, but it's actually a 6 out there at Fanatics.
Okay, give you the.
I'd break down 6. So yeah.
Okay. Yes, give me a Saskatchewan to cover that 3.5 there on CBS Sports Network in the Grey Cup. Chris, I know you love Canadian.
How about the over?
I'm not seeing it. I'm concerned about Montreal's offense. I really am. All right. Next up here, our underdog parlay of the week here. We got our old boy Buster. We hit one this week for him. This season for him. We got to hit some more. He's hungry. He needs some treats. We need to re-up on that bark box for him, Let's see what we can do here. Are we going to feed Buster this week? I guess I'll be starting things off. Mississippi State plus 220 taking on Missouri. Listen, I know Mississippi State got the doors blown off last week against Georgia. A lot of people get the doors blown off against the Georgia Bulldogs. You can throw that one out. Listen, this team is tough, and they are 1 win away from bowl eligibility. They're playing for something there. I think Jeff Levy's starting to build a little bit. I really like Blake Shapen, the quarterback, and I think that's going to be the difference there. Missouri, we saw some of the comments from Eli Drinkwitz about how the team is – the energy, I want to paraphrase him a little bit, but the energy, the motivation seems like it may be gone a little bit since some of their goals that they had have evaporated. Also, Eli Drinkwitz's name been banned for the round for other jobs. I've heard his name with that Penn State opening potentially. How locked in is he? How locked in is his players? Also, he's starting a third-string quarterback again in Zollers, and he did not look good last week. He was like 7 of 12 for 77 yards or something along those lines. Mississippi State is, they've been all in nearly all their games. They're 8-2 against the spread this season. Obviously, we're looking at this one straight up here. But Missouri, against the spread, they're 1-4-1 in their last 6 games there against the spread. So you got one team winning close games. You got one team not necessarily covering in close games there. Give me Mississippi State. I like them to go in there and get a win. You'll hear some cowbells clanging there, plus 220 over Missouri. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars, plus 134. Who's got that?
That would be me. Didn't love any of the college underdogs. A couple long shots that I wouldn't want to put on here. But, yeah. So why not give me Jacksonville? They're at home. They're 3-point dogs, I think. The Chargers just lost Joe Alt, and we saw what that line looked like without him because he had just come back. So that Chargers offense might be a little bit of a mess. And I don't love the Jaguars as a team. I don't think they're that good. But, yeah, I think the Chargers are in a rough spot right now. They're really struggling. Herbert probably running for his life the rest of the season. So give me the Jaguars at home.
I don't hate that, Scotty, especially with LA coming across country too, and Jacksonville's got to be feeling a little salty after the way they lost that game to Houston last week. And then Chris bringing up the rear here with the monsters of the Midway, the Bears, plus 124.
Yeah, the only quarterback I have less faith in than Bo Nix is J.J. McCarthy. He's great at handing the ball off, and unfortunately for Minnesota, they don't really have that good of running backs. So give me the Bears. Caleb Williams has looked a lot better. He's actually looking like he might be the best quarterback out of that draft class, maybe, possibly.
No. You forget about Drake May.
Yeah.
He's got a really good defense behind him. That's Caleb Williams
is the MVP right now, but okay.
Yeah, whatever. It's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah, give me the Bears. They're rolling right now. They're winning. Minnesota is about to fall off the edge of the cliff. They have no quarterback. So give me the Bears.
All right. Mississippi State.
There's a reason why that line was so close. I don't know what it is. Vegas does, and
because the Bears are 6-3.
Yeah. Mississippi State, Jacksonville, and Chicago put those three together on FanDuel Sportsbook. You're looking at $15.77 for this. Scotty, if you take a crisp $100 bill, if Chris is panhandling out in the east end of Richmond, let's say Williamsburg Road, and he's panhandling, and some nice person just left their job at the state capitol, and they're heading out east, and they give him a crisp $100 bill in his hat where he's panhandling, and he bets that. What is he coming out with?
He would win $1,577 plus his 100 back.
Plus his 100 back. That's a lot of treats for old Buster here. So hopefully Chris will share with him. But if he did come across $100 and hit this, I'm sure it would go all toward Newports. Maybe he gets a Newport treat toy for Buster there.
But, I'll get him a stuffed cigarette.
I'm sure they're out there.
A stuffed cigarette for Buster. But yeah, $15.77 on this one. I know I say this every week, but I actually do like this parlay. I'm the most concerned about the Bears.
With the best odds. Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, I'm just putting it out there.
I hate this parlay, and I love the one that we went 0-3 on. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Clang-a, ring those cowbells there, Mississippi State. So, all right, well, that'll do it. Make sure to join us back here Wednesday, 7:30 for the Let's Not Do This podcast. We'll preview Thursday Night Football, a little early week college football action, and with our weird stories we come across. Also, Thursday, Getting Loose with Leon returns. We'll talk about F1. Las Vegas Grand Prix is next Sunday, so we'll have some picks to get you ready for that. You guys coming to my Las Vegas Grand Prix watch party next Sunday, or Saturday night, I should say, 11 p.m. Start time, I believe, for that one.
Probably not.
Oh, well.
I'll be in bed.
I'll be watching some
I'll be
whatever
asleep for
games
3
on.
hours at that point.
I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. All right.
I'll be falling asleep to whatever West Coast football or basketball game is on.
Yeah, you're the degenerate that'll be watching Pacific and like California Baptist and like rooting for under 151. That just sounds
depends on how the rest of my day has went gambling.
Which
if I'm up, I'll throw some money on something.
My poor wife last night, we were flipping through the channels at one point, and I land on California Baptist on ESPN Plus. And she goes, I didn't know there was such thing as a California Baptist. And then she sees it says Lancers on the court. And she's like, I thought Longwood was the Lancers. And I was like, well, babe, it's some great scheme of things. Some colleges have more than one name, And then I went on a long diatribe about the history of California Baptist University. Why does my brain know these things? I don't know, but I felt sorry for her. It was like that meme where the guy's talking to the girl in the bar and he's in their ear and she's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So
if it's California Baptist, I'm sure there's some scandals that have gone on.
That's not the collection plate being passed around. We'll see you next week.
Whoa.